God bless football, Billy Gill.
God bless football, Mikey, eh?
God bless football, Stugotz.
Thank you, Mikey. Fuentes is here. He doesn't have a microphone or a camera. He's got nothing for us.
Well, he's working. He's doing, the technical stuff.
Oh, he's got a microphone. Now all of a sudden he's got a microphone.
Well, no, he doesn't have a microphone. Why do you do this? He said
I don't know.
very clearly beforehand, don't go to me, don't do this today.
So, Billy, I have good news and I have bad news.
What is that?
The good news is 50 days until football. The bad news, 50 days until football.
Yeah, or 48.
Is it 48?
Yeah.
Oh, the Thursday night game?
Yeah, no. This is Friday.
No, we're just
days.
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry. At the time we're taping this, my
this
bad.
Is live. Yeah.
Yeah, it was 50. You're an ass. It was 50 days. 48 days. I have good news and bad news for you,
Okay,
Billy.
what's that?
48 days until football starts.
Wow.
You want the bad news?
What's that?
48 days until football starts.
Okay.
Those 2 days flew.
I need I need football, man.
I have a new game I want to play.
Really?
I just came up with it right now, and I'm wondering, and I'm going to play it specifically with Mikey. I don't want to exclude you, but I want to play it specifically with
Welcome
Mikey
back.
just so you see how it goes.
Okay.
All right. So the game's called Good News or Bad News.
Ooh, good news or bad news. So you're going to play it with Mikey so I could see how to play the game?
Correct.
Okay. All right.
So this is how it works. Good news or bad news, and I will give you a stated fact, and then you determine is it good news or bad news.
Got it.
All right. So Mikey, ready? You understand? Does everyone in the audience understand how good news or bad news works?
They do.
Yes.
Okay, good. Mm-hmm. All right, Mikey, good news or bad news? Stugotz is back.
Ooh, that's right off the bat.
That's what he likes to do. What do you mean?
It's good news.
Yeah.
It's good news.
I agree.
It's good news he's back.
I agree.
Thanks. You guys missed me, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fun little episode last week. Stugotz was away.
It's fun.
He was at Lake Tahoe doing some recon work.
I want to play the game now.
Do you?
Yeah, good news, bad news.
Okay.
I think that was the only one he had.
I was in Tahoe. I will tell everyone about Tahoe. I spent some time with Jason Kelsey. I am hopeful that he will come on this program at some point. I spent some time with Josh Allen, Billy's friend. He asked me how Billy was doing. I spent some time with Baker Mayfield. I spent some time with some football guys.
You were doing some groundwork. You were laying some seeds for relationships to flourish, which I think is very important. And you were out there doing that selflessly, I think.
I think, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's interesting, Mikey, because I've been out to Tahoe now for 5 or 6 consecutive years, I feel like. But I was out there at a different, I was on vacation, so I wasn't really working. And I built up a lot of equity, I feel like, with these guys because for the first time in my life, I wasn't asking them for anything. You know what I mean? But I will eventually.
Yeah.
And I think they know that. But I did.
I have 2 questions for you.
Yeah, go
about
ahead.
Tahoe.
Good news or bad news?
The first is no. The first is, did you interview almost Aaron Rodgers again?
No, I actually got it right. Jake Owen is his name, and I got it right. I redeemed myself. I went up to Jake. I said, "Hey, Jake, how you doing?" He gave me a hug. He's friends with Marty Fish. Now, I will tell you that I went up to Jake on the driving range, and in Tahoe, they have a nameplate for your spot on the driving range, and so I knew it was Jake Owen.
Yeah.
Because it said Jake Owen right in front of my face.
Now, however,
do you think they did that because of what you did last year?
Perhaps.
Do you think they put the name? Okay.
I would say
I actually think they were there last year. I just ignored them.
I was just going to say, I feel like if they were there last year and you saw the name Jake Owen without knowing who he was, you wouldn't have thought twice about it. You still would have said hi to Aaron.
And for those in the audience wondering, I thought that, my quarterback, Aaron Rodgers, was a country music singer.
Yeah.
I spent 15 minutes with him on the driving range. He really sunk into the character. He pretended to be Aaron Rodgers. He knew it was a mistaken identity, and it did not stop Jake Owen, who was a great sport, from making me feel worse and worse. Like, he dragged the conversation on. I will say, thinking back to it, I remember like 20 minutes into it, why is Aaron still talking to me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because it wasn't Aaron. It was Jake Owen.
Now, Aaron was there. Did you talk to Aaron?
I did.
Yeah.
Yeah. Said hello. Yeah. I mean, I spent the entire time, Mike, you'll love this. And Aaron is catching footballs and shaking hands and putting his body in all kinds of compromising positions. And at one point, he almost ran over Jake Golick's kid. And I'm like, hey, Aaron, what are you doing? Be careful. You're coming off a torn Achilles. Why are you looking at me like that?
You said that to him.
I did, yes.
And what did he say to you?
He said, I'm fine.
He said, I'm Jake Owen.
He's I lashed out at Jake Golick one time because I said, "Hey, get your kids away from my quarterback."
Yeah. So who were you actually upset with in this exchange?
Well, who do you think I should have been upset with?
I don't know. One of them's a child. I don't know necessarily.
Well, no, Jake Golick's the dad. It's Mike Golick Jr.'s brother.
Yeah, but you said you almost ran over Jake Golick's kid.
I know, but he brought his kids out to the driving range where Aaron was. So I'm talking to Aaron. Aaron turns around. The kid's right there. He almost fell over the kid. That's what I'm trying to say. That's on Jake Golick. I mean, don't bring your kid to a driving range.
I have a new segment I want to try.
Love you, Jake.
If you guys want to play along with this segment. And I will admit to you on the front end, the name of this segment can use some work. Maybe we, spruce it up with some imaging as we go on if this thing catches on.
Mm-hmm.
But this is called Headlines.
Ooh.
Wow. All right, I'm just gonna start out with one if you want to play headlines.
So what do we do after you read the headline?
I'm gonna give you a headline. It's related to what we were talking about, which is why I figured this is the best time to play headlines. I was thinking of maybe holding on to headlines for later in the show, but it's applicable to what we're talking about right now.
Okay.
And that is Aaron Rodgers.
Yes.
This week in the headlines, news came out about Aaron Rodgers, where he was when he was away. Diana Rossini, friend of the show, friend of yours, friend of ours, reported, or I guess let the world know, Aaron Rodgers' unexcused absence from Jets' mandatory training camp is because he was in Egypt. And he had disclosed that trip to Egypt to the Jets and to Robert Saleh before the date was set for mandatory training camp. So he told them, I will be in Egypt these dates. They then went ahead and scheduled mandatory training camp for when he was in Egypt and then reported that his absence was unexcused, although he had let them know before they even set the dates that he would be in Egypt.
But you expect the Jets to start their mini camps, their training camps around Aaron's schedule? You do?
I believe.
Yes.
I believe, and you can check it out in Diana's new podcast, Scoop City, that Robert Saleh decided that he was going to do the training camp that day regardless. And my understanding of it, and it could not be what was reported, but my understanding was he was trying to prove a point by doing so.
I'll start training camp when I want to start training camp, not when you're ready to start training camp?
I think that was what was implied.
How do you feel about that, Mikey, as a Jet fan?
I said all along that the problem wasn't Rodgers missing camp. The problem was Saleh calling it inexcused. And now we go on to find out that he even called it inexcused when he scheduled it knowing Rodgers wouldn't be there. Like, if you're going to go all in on a guy like Aaron Rodgers, go all in or don't. You can't do this hedge thing where I'm in charge, but whatever you want, Mr. Rodgers.
But there's no in between. There's no, Saleh has to get the locker room back. He has to, Mike, he hasn't, no one respects him in that locker room because he's letting Aaron run the team and run the organization. At some point, he's got to put his foot down, no?
And do you think this was the way to do it? Are all the players now going, hey, yeah, I'm on Saleh's side?
Well, what's he going to do? Bench him week one? I guess you're right. Yeah.
Don't call it inexcused. That's all he had to do. Don't call it inexcused.
I would say, as someone who doesn't have a horse in this race, he made the situation worse. By doing what he did, he made the situation worse. Aaron already has everybody kind of talking about everything he does anyways by saying it's an unexcused absence, even though Aaron apparently gave everyone a heads up that he was going to be doing this. He kind of made this when it didn't have to exist.
That's fine, but I feel like I don't want to hear from a guy who just came off an Achilles, missed the entire year, plays 4 snaps for the Jets, and he's dictating when we're going to start training camp.
Let me ask you guys something as Jets fans.
And he should. I guess you're right. Now that I'm talking it out, it's Aaron Rodgers.
Now that you said it out loud, you're like, yeah, he should. Yeah.
Let me ask you guys a question as Jets fans.
Yeah.
In a new segment called Who's There Longer?
How many new segments are you?
So here's how this game works.
All. I want to play them every week, though.
All right. Who's there longer? Aaron Rodgers or Robert Saleh?
Who's going to be there longer or who has been there longer?
No, who will be there longer?
Wow. From this day moving forward?
Mm-hmm.
Aaron.
Mikey?
Aaron.
I'm gonna go optimistic, and I'm gonna say Saleh because Rodgers gets him to the playoffs, retires. Saleh gets 1 year without him, and then gets the boot.
Okay.
Who do you think?
I think that I'm the host, so I can't give my opinion on this.
Well, now you can.
But I will say this. I'm the host, so it's not my job to give the opinions. I'm just here to give you the prompts. But I will say this. I don't think Robert Saleh is in a position to be trying to strong-arm Aaron Rodgers right now.
Because
I don't think he has the job security to be strong-arming Aaron Rodgers. Because Aaron Rodgers is your team at the moment. Your season will go as Aaron goes. If Aaron gets injured again, your season will likely go down the drain again. So it's best, after Aaron played 4 snaps last season, for everybody to be on the same page, which, by the way, is probably why Nathaniel Hackett is still there to begin with, right? Because of the fact that Aaron only lasted 4 snaps. So it's kind of like, well, we can't really make a judgment call on Nathaniel Hackett, and we don't want to upset Aaron by getting rid of his friend before they even really reunited here.
Oh, that's totally fair. Listen, the judgment call you need to make on Hackett is the 2 years he was Aaron's offensive coordinator. He was the MVP of the league. So the Jets have not seen that play out yet. They want to see it play out. They haven't seen it play out. But I'm kind of with Mikey from this standpoint. If Rodgers is healthy, the Jets are good enough. Rodgers takes them to the playoffs, hopefully deep into the playoffs, maybe to the Super Bowl. And Saleh maybe gets another year out of that, you know?
I mean, Saleh does have to get control of the locker room, right? But also...
Yeah, but this is a way to do it. Like, it does. So if we're going to say that, his success is tied to Aaron's success or lack of success, then none of this really matters. What mattered for Saleh in this situation is he had to get some modicum of respect back in that locker room because no one respects him. So what did he do? He made a big stink about Aaron missing training camp, even though he knew he was missing training camp, but did it purposely. Yeah.
Dude, I got a question for you. This is more as a Jets fan and the Jets kingdom rather than as Saleh. Suppose in a perfect world, the Jets win the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
How many years does that buy Saleh?
It would take more than a perfect world.
I understand. It's more about how the Jets culture. I'm just curious, how long do you think winning a Super Bowl would buy a coach years?
Can I throw in like another, I guess, aspect to this question?
It's a good question, though.
I was thinking when I asked the question, again, it's not my position to be giving you my opinion, but what I was thinking was if the Jets do win the Super Bowl, Robert Saleh will have a longer career, not just with the Jets, in the NFL, because he'll be a Super Bowl winning coach. So it benefits Robert to be on the same page with Aaron. So this is why it seems like this is not necessarily the issue where you want to kind of turn it into a thing, because they're going to butt heads, you would assume, right?
Yes.
It just seems to be the way things go.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're on the same page, why are you going to go on the offensive and then try to make him look bad, which is just going to potentially lead to issues down the road, even though it was reported that they're all good.
I mean, I think the only reason you do this, if you're Saleh, is to save yourself with the rest of the locker room. That's it. It's the only. You're Billy. You're making good points. I understand what it is you're asking and what you're saying. But you
also,
do it to save face in the locker room.
Yeah,
and maybe Aaron's in on that because he wanted Saleh to have some of that back. You know,
you could also just schedule it a week later or whatever, and no one will even know that that's why it was scheduled those dates.
Well, no one.
Who do you think's gonna?
I mean,
Sauce is going to find out.
You don't think Aaron likes the idea that he could dictate when a team's training camp starts?
Yeah.
He would let it out. Training camp starts when I show up. No?
So, Stugotz, we didn't come close to answering Mikey's question, I don't think, in the last segment.
We sprinted away from it. It was weird.
Yeah.
What was the question? Do you know?
I don't remember. That's why I didn't answer it.
How many years does a Super Bowl buy Saleh in New York?
Wow. I feel like winning a Super Bowl should buy you a lifetime in New York.
It doesn't.
No. So I'm just thinking back. I know Marty Schottenheimer with the Chargers, 14-2 AFC Championship game. They had gotten there a bunch. They had very good teams, talented teams. He was fired the next year. So he went 14-2 AFC Championship game, lost that, fired. Doug Peterson won a Super Bowl with Nick Foles in Philadelphia. and then was fired, I believe, 2 seasons later.
2 years. Yeah.
So
I think it was 2 years.
So we got a year. So we got a year and then he was fired, or 2 years and then he was fired?
2 years.
All right.
2 more seasons.
So Philadelphia was starving for a Super Bowl as well. Peterson won them that Super Bowl, and he got 2 years. The Jets, laughable organization, haven't won a Super Bowl since '69. I feel like Saleh will get 5 years. He'll get 5 years. He won a Super Bowl for the Jet. No?
No way.
Like winning.
No. There'll be people calling for his head the next season if it doesn't start off the right way. Now, I think that he'll get the 2 years.
Right.
I think he would get 2 more years.
Okay. Do you think Aaron comes back if the Jets win the Super Bowl?
I hope not.
What do you mean?
I would hope not.
Why, you want to end it right there?
That would just, what a great walk off. You just took a team that couldn't make the playoffs for 13 years,
right?
Won them a Super Bowl, and then said, "I'm gone."
I can't see that happening.
Looks like
me neither.
Looks like Weeb Eubank.
I know. What I mean by I can't see that happening is you wanting Aaron to retire after that man's won you a Super Bowl. You're going to be begging him to come back. What were you saying about Weeb?
Looks like Weeb retired as head coach of the Jets after the 1973 season. So it looks like four seasons, maybe.
4 seasons.
He got after. And I think that Coughlin also had lasted 4 seasons after the Giants won the Super Bowl. 4 seasons.
Yeah, but keep in mind.
He got 2.
I know, but they weren't waiting 50 years to do anything.
Yeah.
Weeb Eubank did it in 1969.
So you think what? That if
what
Saleh
a great
does
name,
it,
Weeb. I mean,
if Saleh does it, you think he gets double the time that old Weeb got? Even though Weeb stayed on, I believe, as general manager for a couple years after that, president and general manager.
got a promotion, huh?
I think he may have been doing everything. I'm not sure.
Really?
I mean, it's your team. I don't know.
He was Jimmy before Jimmy, huh?
I don't know.
Yeah. I think Saleh gets 5 years. I do.
Okay.
Yeah. Weeb Eubank.
Yeah.
Great name.
Hey, I have a game I want to try to play today if you guys are interested.
Jesus Christ, man.
Oh, we got a new game? Cool.
I do if you want. It doesn't have to be now, but if you want, we can get to it whenever. When do you guys want to play it?
Right now.
Really?
Yeah.
This moment.
Okay.
Yeah.
This game is called Campus Visits.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. It's a hard turn.
Yeah.
Fuentes is so upset he's not partaking on the air in this episode because he loves Billy's games.
So we're test launching campus visits today, and then maybe we'll get a whistle or a airplane or something while we visit a campus, right? All right. Our first campus visit is down to Austin, Texas, where news came out. The SEC has announced that they will not be punishing players for doing horns down, as the Big 12 used to do, leading to unsportsmanlike conduct penalties. So down in Texas now, I guess on the road, you can now do the horns down. Thoughts?
Good. It's a harmless thing. Why not? Good. Shouldn't be penalized.
I think we should call the game Thoughts.
No, this is called Campus Visits.
We're in Austin, Texas. Can't you feel
it? Austin, Texas.
Billy's setting the scene.
Yeah.
Austin, Texas. We're flying down to Texas.
We could technically be. We could be in Auburn, Alabama, because this is more of an SEC story playing against the University of Texas. So we're flying anywhere, any campus, because you would assume that the horns down would happen on the road. Actually, you know what? If the team is feeling a little saucy and it's a player on the other team, they may be doing this in Austin, Texas. So you know what? We're going to stay on campus in Austin, Texas.
So we're on campus in Austin, and someone does the horn celebration.
The horns down, yeah.
Horns down celebration. They're
no longer a penalty.
I'm good with that.
Okay.
I mean, these kids are out there. They're breaking their ass. They're putting their bodies on the line. They want to celebrate a little bit when they score a touchdown, especially on the road, someone else's place. Who cares? Yeah. Honestly, with everything going on in the world, who the hell cares what a guy does once he gets into the end zone? Seriously.
Yep.
I
think we should do this as actual campus visits. Just go to the three of us. We go to Fuentes can come too.
Just ask
one
question.
We go to a campus. We ask this one question, and then we get back in the road.
Okay.
Go to a different campus.
You want to make one more campus visit for the day?
Sure.
Of course.
All right.
Yeah.
This campus visit is taking us to Clemson, South Carolina.
We need airplane things. We're taking off from Austin. We're headed to Clemson. Right. Thank you.
I want to take a train.
High production budget we have here.
Yeah.
My goodness.
I do like Mikey's idea, though, of doing campus visits, and we're actually visiting the campuses, and then we're just asking these questions of passerbys
One
who
question
could not
and
care
leave.
less. Yeah, exactly right.
So we fly into Austin. Billy asks us that question, and we're out.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was thinking maybe
Seems
we
like
ask,
a waste of money.
maybe we ask some of the students, but I like your question. We just go there to ask you. That's it. Yeah.
Or ask them, and when they answer the other way, you just say wrong, and then you go to the next student.
Well, it's not again, as host, it's not my place to, say right or wrong. I'm just asking the question.
We're going to
Well,
Austin.
Stu would say right or wrong.
Yeah. that's true.
We're going to Austin to not ask a student a question.
Well, we left Austin.
We're going to Austin to ask Stu a question. I could have asked him right here.
Yeah, we're in Clemson, South Carolina now on our next campus visit.
Okay.
University of Clemson. Clemson
already
University.
landed.
Yeah, we're here.
Okay. Wow.
Here we are.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the question. Here's a big story out of Clemson. So obviously there's, all these media days going on now before the season starts.
Yep.
And they ask old Dabo a question, and Dabo likes to answer the questions if you ask him. Sometimes Dabo will answer questions you're not asking him, but Dabo wanted to answer this question. Dabo is concerned with the college football playoff expansion because he thinks that what this may lead to, according to Dabo this week, Dabo believes that this may lead to teams who have already locked up a playoff spot having players opt out of playing or coaches resting their best players. So almost like a load management in college football now for the teams who are locked in. I'd like to get your thoughts on this.
So if you feel what Dabo was saying is if you feel like your team already has a spot, there's a good chance you might rest some guys, get them ready for the playoffs, get them healthy.
Get them healthy. Maybe you hope that they don't get injured.
Wow. It's an interesting point. I mean, Alabama's already got a spot, so they should just sit their guys week one.
Yeah.
Right. And that is the point. That's the point he's trying. That's the point.
Well, I don't know.
No Saban.
Now that Saban's gone, I don't know.
Yeah.
Right. Well, Georgia, they're in, right? Georgia's in. They're not keeping Georgia out. So Georgia should sit everyone until the playoff game. It's an interesting point by Dabo. I hadn't really thought about it. But Dabo could do the same thing.
Here, I have a question.
But it works for Dabo as well. If his team is good enough, see, the reason Dabo is saying this is his program, his team is no longer as dominant as it used to be. Because if it was, he wouldn't be worried about this. No, Clemson would get in every single year, and he wouldn't be worrying about this. Yeah. And he'd be the one resting his quarterback, getting him healthy for the playoff run.
That's where I disagree. Dabo very much seems like the type who will be running out there with like a 11-0, 12-0 record and get his quarterback injured.
Bring your own guts.
Game.
Yeah. BYOG.
Like I could very much see Dabo getting a player, important to his team injured because they don't take any games off.
Right.
It does make me wonder, though, as someone who's just asked the questions as we're going on campus visits, it makes me wonder if this is an actual accurate prediction by Dabo, how many undefeated teams we will see moving forward. Because if you have teams that are, undefeated, they're locked in, you just need to be, in the top 12.
Yep.
Why would you risk it? You know that if you
That's a fair point.
If you have one loss, you're not going to miss the playoffs. So why? I mean, you could still rest your players and win the game and be undefeated, right? But are you going to have that team where it's that important to go undefeated moving forward?
No, I think it's a fair point. I think.
And like the secondary question,
I think it's very likely we're not going to see many undefeated teams. No, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter to you anymore.
I don't think it doesn't matter to me. It might matter to the school, to the coach, to the players, because only a handful of teams have done that, undefeated, win the national championship. It might matter to them, but I think winning a national championship, obviously, and being healthy for the playoffs means more. I'm trying to pull up Clemson's schedule here because this could benefit Dabo. What he's railing against what if Dabo is 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, has a big game against a team that's already in the playoff, and they rest their starters. So then it works out for Dabo. What is he talking about?
Dabo starts off the season with Georgia, so they're not going to be undefeated. I can tell you that right now.
All right, so they're 0-1.
First game, Georgia. Then Appalachian State, which is always a tricky one.
Tricky one.
Yep.
Don't do it early. I'm just warning you. Don't do it early. I mean,
second week of the season. And September 7th is that's close to... I feel like that August 31st is right around the week 0 situation, right? So then
I think it is week 0.
So then September 7th, and that's a primetime game on ABC, the Georgia game.
Mm-hmm.
Then Appalachian State, that's a tricky one because that's early in the season, which is when you don't want to face them.
Nope.
Then NC State, Stanford, at Florida State, at Wake, versus Virginia, Louisville, Virginia Tech, Pittsburgh, the Citadel, and then they end the season with South Carolina.
I was trying to find a game there where Dabo could be could benefit from a team resting its starters.
Well, you think he could benefit from a team?
Yeah, because he's railing against something that could actually help him get into the playoff.
Yeah, I know.
I realize it could hurt him as well, but could also help him.
I don't think South Carolina is going to be there. Do you?
So what he's worried about is Penn State playing someone, and he's vying with Penn State to get into the college football playoff. And the team that Penn State is playing, they sit all their starters because Penn State, that team feels like they're already in the playoff. That's what he's worried about.
Yeah,
that's
it sounds to me like Dabo's always worried about a bunch of stuff that is miles down the road that probably isn't going to be a thing.
Yeah, because he knows his team isn't as good. That's why he's worried about it. Like Kirby Smart is not sitting around worrying about this stuff.
No,
because he knows he's going to be in the thing. Think Dabo's going to last at Clemson?
I don't know.
I think you're starting to see the cracks. I think it's starting to be like a little bit. All right, Dabo, let's play the game.
Yeah, but he's not playing the game anymore.
I know.
This game has passed him by.
He complains about everything where Saban complained about it and then did it. Saban was like, I don't like NIL, but here's a big check for this guy because that's how it's done. And then whereas Dabo's like, no, we're not doing the transfer portal because that's not the way I know it.
And then Saban got out when it became too much. That's it. Did you see Saban at Media Day, by the way? SEC Media Day, ESPN throwing it to Nick Saban with a microphone in his hand, and he's there doing a live shot by himself?
Yeah.
What are we doing?
He hit Al Duncan with a Go Dogs.
He's going to be so good at this. We have Billy's story of the week coming up here in just a second. Yeah. I like the campus visits, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a new segment around Story of the Week if you want it.
What do you mean you have a new segment around Story of the Week?
Yeah, it's close to
We didn't even get to Story of the Week yet.
I'm just letting you know when we get there, be prepared because there's a little segment around
How do you come up with all these segments?
All
right, you're good. Well, I want it now then. I do.
Really?
Yeah, I was going to go to Brandon Ayuk, but I want it now.
I have that in headlines, but we didn't get to it.
Oh, you want to go back to headlines real quick?
No.
Okay. All right. Well, what game do you want to do now?
Whatever you want. You're in charge.
Well, the game around your story of the week.
Okay, so it's time for my story of the week. Now, for those of you who have listened to this show before, you know that on the weeks that I remember, I will present you a story of the week. And each week that person then wins the story of the week. And at the end of the month, where we have multiple stories of the week, they will go head-to-head up against each other, and someone will be crowned the story of the month, and they'll win a big prize that we have yet to be determined. So right now, the winner of the story of the month. Now, we're not doing story of the year yet. That's a little bit crazy. So once we reach the end of the month, that's the story of the month.
Right.
New month, fresh start.
Okay. Yep.
So last month, the winner of the story of the month was Les Miles suing LSU because he had wins vacated.
Yep.
And as a result, he's now no longer eligible for the College Football Hall of Fame.
Correct.
That was the story of the month for June.
Yes.
Okay. Now,
I reached out to Les, by the way.
Did you?
Yeah, I asked him to come on.
And?
I'm getting to it.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
So here is a little wrinkle for the story of the week.
Okay.
This is called Listener Suggestion.
Ooh, I like that.
So we had listeners who were listening to our story of the week that then became the story of the month with Les Miles. And one listener had a listener suggestion.
Okay.
So, as we previously stated, Les Miles is no longer eligible for the College Football Hall of Fame because LSU, unbeknownst to him, vacated a number of wins, and that brought down his win percentage below 600, which is what you need to be at to get into the College Football Hall of Fame.
Was it his fault, though? I mean, unbeknownst to him, I understand. Was he the one who actually, were the infractions on him?
That's for the courts to decide.
Okay, yeah, you're right. I'm sorry.
Okay, so the listener suggestion, which is something we had not considered, okay?
That's the answer you get when you don't know. I mean,
pay attention. Let's focus here.
I'm sorry.
In the middle of listener suggestions. We don't want listeners to think we're not listening to their suggestions. And
this is our first story of the week for July.
You're going to love this listener suggestion, Stugotz.
I'm going to let the court decide. Go ahead.
Listener suggestion on how Les Miles and LSU can fix this situation.
Yes.
Vacate the losses.
Oh, wow.
So you vacate the wins, you vacate the losses, and then you end up more or less with the same win percentage.
Wait, but is it win percentage or amount of wins?
No, it's win percentage.
Okay, I like that. That's a good
said,
suggestion. Yes.
LSU should just vacate the losses too, and then they're good. And I said, you know what? Didn't think about that.
How do you vacate a loss?
You know what? I like the idea of vacating losses and just have every year, like, just announce, like, we're going to go back 10 years and we're going to vacate all of our losses from the year 2005. And it's like, wow, LSU undefeated season. They vacated all their losses.
So you give yourself a national championship?
Exactly right.
Okay.
You vacate the losses. You say, you know what? This is a team. We really could have won that game, but we did some digging, and it seems that, our third wide receiver didn't do all their study hours and was ineligible, so we're just going to vacate that game. Loss vacated, boom, undefeated season.
Loss vacated. I love it.
Vacate losses.
Mikey, you're good with this. You're nodding your head in approval.
I'm just waiting for like Texas to vacate their loss from last year, and then they have a better argument against Florida State.
The thing with the vacating of wins and losses, I feel like it's always like 5 or 6 years removed, right? So like you just have to kind of put out a press release and be like, by the way, we've vacated all of our losses.
No one cares, right?
No one cares.
Right.
We vacated all the losses, so henceforth, undefeated season.
I mean, Billy's right. You could say 5 or 6 years later, I feel like is a good spot. You could say, hey, we vacated all those losses back in, 2006, okay? We won the national championship.
Yeah.
You could say it. You could celebrate it. No one's going to care. No one's going to
care.
think otherwise,
Yeah.
What's done is done.
Bring the old players back.
Yeah,
Exactly
you should-
right.
Party.
Give him a ring.
Bring them
Get
back.
him a ring.
You
Yeah,
give
give
them
him a ring.
Exactly right. Undefeated season.
Brandon Schuyler's got a few extra.
Yep. So that was listener suggestions
I like it.
for Billy's story of the week.
I like that.
Now time for Billy's story of the week.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we got distracted
Okay.
there. Yeah.
Can we vacate all the Jets losses? I mean, nah.
No, you only vacate losses in college.
You're right.
You have to make
Yeah.
campus visits to vacate
Because
losses.
people would
I think
care.
you also have to win more than you lose
That-
in order to vacate losses.
Right. And unlike college football, I feel like if I vacated all the Jets losses from 5 years ago and announced them as Super Bowl champions, people would be upset about that.
Maybe.
They would.
Yeah.
They would. I think. Could be wrong.
Anyways, my story of the week.
Yes.
Patrick and Brittany Mahomes
Mm-hmm.
have announced that they're expecting their third child.
Slow down.
Patrick has said, I'm done.
Oh, God.
This is it. It's been announced. He's done.
Done with
Third
kids.
child. Yes, this is it.
Hoping football.
Factory's closed. Thoughts?
I would have stopped at 2.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, I have to. I would have stopped at 2.
Yeah.
3's a lot.
3 does seem like a lot.
I mean, and you're carrying a football team.
Yeah.
Just saying. 3 kids, 3 Super Bowls.
Mm.
Just saying. Maybe he wants 4.
Mm.
Maybe he gets 4.
You're saying for every Super
And
Bowl he
wants
wins, he
more.
has a kid?
Maybe.
Maybe we also
maybe.
could also maybe look in to see, maybe the Super Bowl led to the kid. You know what I mean?
Can we check that out?
How would we?
Well, how old are his kids?
Simple
and when did
math.
he win Super Bowls?
Yeah.
Simple math.
I
Yeah.
suppose.
Does he only have a kid after he wins a Super Bowl?
I don't know.
I think you might be right.
Well, if that's the case, somebody get him out of Kansas City.
Is
if
there
he's
a
done.
link here?
Once I have no more kids, go to New York,
Hey.
Wink.
Play for the Giants,
Ouch.
Right.
Ouch.
So that's the story of the week. Patrick Mahomes having another kid.
Wait, I need to know if Mahomes has kids only after he wins Super Bowls. Like, we got to I know it's a pain.
I think we should get him on to ask him.
Patrick?
I don't think that's true because he won his first one in 2020, and I don't think that his first kid is that old, but I'm not sure.
I think he had a kid coming in.
No.
What do you mean, no?
Oh, first child born 2021.
2021.
Second child born
Uh-oh.
2022.
Did they win 2021?
No, they
No,
didn't.
no,
That's
no.
when they lost to the Buccaneers, I believe.
Was he banking one? Maybe that's the problem. Maybe he thought he was going to beat the Buccaneers, and he got a little
Maybe they
premature.
Premature celebration?
Maybe they were planning on
Yeah.
vacating that loss.
Oh, you're right.
and then
5 years later.
That's a win.
right.
Yeah.
So 22, they won the Super Bowl, right?
No. Yeah, they did.
If you vacate,
So it's 2021. Yeah, we're talking about wins and losses, not when the conception was. Now you've gotten me all confused.
It's your game.
I wasn't playing the
they
game.
won back to back. So
Well,
they won 23 and 24.
But do you believe? I think what Billy's asking is, do you you think the shop is closed? Like, because I don't. Unless he did it in a way where he can never have kids again. I don't know if. Like, how old is Patrick Mahomes? This is going to make me mad. When you tell me his age, it's going to make me mad.
Why is it going to make you mad? Why is it going to make you mad?
Fuentes, are you saying he's 28?
Why is it going to make you mad?
He is 28.
Because he's won 3 Super Bowls already, and he's 28, and he's been to 5, I feel like.
But in September, he turns 29, so really.
He's an old 28.
29 is like... 29's right up there with the worst age, right? Are you going to agree on that?
29's a great age.
Nah.
Why, you're headed into your 30s?
Nah. 29 is sad city.
I would say
it's a panic age. I feel like it's a panic age.
Mm-hmm.
Like
You're stressed
my last
out.
year in my 20s.
Well, it's only a panic if you've spent your 20s doing fucking nothing.
Whoa.
Sorry for cursing.
Jeez
Wow.
I mean, be prepared.
All right, so they won. I
had no idea what I was going to do when I was 29 years old. I got to be honest with you.
They won the Super Bowl on February 2nd, 2020, and then they had a child in 2021. And then they won a Super Bowl in 2023 and 2024. 2023 is technically the champion of the 2022 season if you want to play this game, but seems like this is a bit of a stretch. That's a new game.
A loose connection.
Bit of a stretch.
Is it a bit of a stretch?
Yeah. But that's not for this week. Not for this week.
All right. Story of the week?
We did it already. They're having that was the story of the week.
That was the story of the week.
You want another Patrick Mahomes story? I can give you one.
No. My apologies because I'm rusty because I was away in Lake Tahoe. I
Yeah.
thought we did 2, chose 1, then took the winners, and we did them all at the end.
No, that's when there's multiple
Okay.
stories.
No,
That's
right,
there's
yeah.
multiples. I can tell you another Patrick Mahomes story if you want.
My apologies, by the way.
He took a TV to training camp so that he could play NCAA football, which is now known as College Football 25, and so that he can watch the Olympics. First time he's taken a TV to training camp. I don't know why that's a story, but it was a story that was out there.
Seems like he's losing his edge.
Is he?
Yeah. I mean, focus on the team.
Okay.
Focus on the prize.
He's won 3 Super Bowls.
Focus on being the greatest of all time. Yeah, but he's won 3. He's still 4 away from Tom.
Ooh, I have a new game.
You think Tom was bringing a TV at the age of 28 to training camp to watch the Olympics? Give me a break.
Focus on the
Seriously.
gymnastics team.
It's too much. What is he doing?
Okay.
Yeah.
Bigger. Here's the name of the game. Bigger distraction. Patrick Mahomes or Travis Kelsey? Who will be a bigger distraction?
Mahomes is TV.
Okay, Mahomes has the TV, and he's going to have a 3rd kid now. But Travis is
What
now
if-
performing on stages at Taylor Swift shows.
What if Mahomes' TV is showing Taylor Swift concerts?
And Travis is there.
What's the bigger distraction then?
I will tell you this. Something is definitely off in Kansas City. She's not even started yet.
Some people are saying that. I kind of wonder why it is that Patrick Mahomes can't just take his PlayStation 5 and plug it in, like in a conference room in the facility. Why does he need to take a TV?
It's a bad look.
Seems like a lot of work.
You think Patrick is hauling in a television?
Yeah,
Like
that's
he's bringing
the
a
story.
20.
That's
him
the
and
story.
Travis are carrying a 27-inch TV into the.
That's the story. I mean, it has to
that
fit
they
in-
carried it in and hung it up. I mean,
That's what people are saying.
if I'm Andy Reid, I stop it right now.
Really?
Yeah, it's time for football.
I think
It's winning time. You think Andy Reid's sitting around watching the summer games? I mean,
I think it's time for David.
Throw it out the window. Send a message like Salah.
No,
Yep.
This is a David Girardi job. He needs to step in there. You're saying who's David Girardi? Great question. He's the quarterbacks coach for the Chiefs, as if they need one. David Girardi is the quarterbacks coach for the Chiefs. Cushiest gig in the NFL.
put it on
by
the poll.
way.
Do the Chiefs need a quarterback coach?
David Girardi has the cushiest job in the NFL right now. But I feel like he needs to go in there and he needs to take a bat to Patrick Mahomes' TV.
Just to save face.
Yeah. But what's really gonna happen is like David's gonna show up with the aux cord or whatever it is, and he's gonna like plug it into like all the TVs in the quarterback. Like, Patrick, you want a bigger TV? Let's plug it in right here.
More TVs.
Yeah, exactly right. Also, by the way, not to,
This guy, there's a good chance, Billy, if he did that, if he smashed his TV, that Patrick would fire him.
I think that this is an opportunity, and was it Javon Holland we had on? I think this is an opportunity for TCL to come in here and give Patrick Mahomes a 98-inch TV. You want to play video games? Take our TCL 98-inch TV, put it on your wall.
Or just Dave, the quarterback coach, could do it.
Yeah, David
And
Girardi.
He's certainly making him enough money. Jesus Christ. Girardi.
Is David Girardi's job to carry Patrick Mahomes' TV into training camp? Is that what his job is?
What else would he do?
I mean, listen, he's paid his dues with the Chiefs. He started with an offensive quality control coaching job, 2018 to 2020. Then he became the assistant quarterbacks coach / passing game analyst 2021 to 2022. And then in 2023, he became the quarterbacks coach.
Okay, but you would agree
Big
that
jump.
Who was the quarterbacks coach before that left? Because that person is a dope.
that was Alex Smith's quarterback coach. I guarantee it.
No, he's a 3-time champion. Alex Smith wasn't with the Chiefs until 2023.
Yeah, but the quarterback coach before that, I think, was the guy who was the quarterback coach for Alex Smith.
Yeah, but who had the opportunity to be the quarterbacks coach for the Chiefs and then left?
Can you imagine if you're this Girardi
Was
guy walking up to
Was it Bieniemy?
It was Nagy, Matt Nagy.
Matt Nagy?
Oh, it was Matt Nagy. Okay.
Yeah.
He took a head coaching job.
Yeah, go back to being Patrick Mahomes' quarterback coach is what I would say to you. Matt
Well,
Nagy.
I mean, you're the coach. No, but imagine what's the current guy's name?
David Girardi.
David Girardi. Imagine if you're Girardi. You're going out to, like, do you even walk out? Do you go out to Patrick during practice, Mikey, and say, Patrick, listen, I think it would help if you did this. This is how you do that. Like, I wouldn't have the balls to do that.
Yeah.
No.
Or do you do something like, hey, I noticed when you threw that incompletion, you stepped a little bit left. Just keep an eye on that.
Right. You might want to do this. It might help you out a little
Like,
bit.
I just noticed some things.
And he's like, yeah, move my TV to the left.
So Matt Nagy is the offensive coordinator for the Chiefs. So he didn't leave for a
Now
head
he
coaching
is?
job. Yeah, he
Full
became the
circle.
offensive coordinator.
Yeah, but wasn't Nagy with Chicago?
That was prior
Yes,
to
and then he went
Okay.
back.
prior to being
But-
it was one of those things. Seems like the Chiefs are like the Patriots, where you can just kind of leave
Plug
and
in
just
anyone.
come back
As long as
Yeah.
Patrick's there.
It's always a job, apparently.
Well, because Patrick's there.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
I mean, that team's going to win so many Super Bowls. Bigger distraction. Kelsey's not a distraction. I don't think he is. No, I think that only becomes a distraction if the team's not playing well and people use that as an excuse. But
So I mean,
Travis played great last year in the playoffs.
I have a game of hypotheticals. If you'd like to play a game of hypotheticals with
Sure.
the Kelseys,
New game?
yeah,
I was thinking we needed a game in this episode.
we're gonna do it next. Do you think the Kelseys are tired of pretending to like Taylor Swift's music every time it comes on? And then that led to us
It's
discussing.
not a hypothetical. It's just a question.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's just a question. Then it led to us discussing and looking at the Chiefs' calendar. Which week do we think Travis is looking forward to? Because we know for a fact he's going to get a little break.
Taylor.
Yes, and all that comes with it. Not that he doesn't love Taylor.
You think they're at that stage in their relationship already? Because it's kind of new. You think the newness is worn off where he's already looking
Well,
for
he's
a week
traveling.
away?
He's traveling the world. He's going to all these concerts. You obviously don't understand this because you go to the same band's concert like 50 times a year, right? So
Yes.
like you don't understand. I guess it getting old or tired. But like if you go every the same show 30 times a year, you'd probably get tired of it. So we were looking at the schedule, trying to figure out where on the calendar do we think that Travis Kelce is looking forward to a work trip.
Okay.
And by that we mean like, here's a tough one. I think December 15th at Cleveland. Taylor's not going. That's a work trip.
Why do you say she's not going?
She's not going to Cleveland. Get out of here.
She's just not going to Cleveland in general.
She's not going to Cleveland.
I'm certain she's at concerts in Cleveland.
Yeah,
now.
she's not going to Cleveland to watch him play. I was going to say
so she'll do a
Pittsburgh.
concert in Cleveland. She won't attend a football game in Cleveland.
Business trip.
Gotcha. Okay. I think you're right about that.
Because I was thinking that Steelers might be one Pittsburgh, second to the last week of the season, but it's Christmas Day, so I don't know if they're going to be spending Christmas apart. And the week that they're in Buffalo for the Bills, I believe that Taylor is touring in Toronto, so she's going to be close enough. Yeah.
Why are we dismissing this week? Training camp. I'm assuming she can't.
Yeah.
No, she can.
No,
separate,
I was talking
yeah.
during the season. Anyways, that's a game called.
I mean, Pat's bringing a TV.
Yeah, Pat brought a TV.
No one's
that's true.
focused over there. I mean,
That is
So
true.
Taylor's the equivalent of a 27-inch TV. Is that what we're saying?
I didn't say that.
I didn't say that
How dare
either.
you.
I'm just
How
saying.
dare you.
It seems like you can bring whatever you want to training camp in Kansas City.
Hmm.
And why wouldn't you? They're going to win anyway. I mean, Denver, cold, winter. They already have the 1 seed locked up. They've had it locked up for 7 weeks.
Where is this? The last week of the year.
Last week of the year, yeah.
Yeah, but that's a maybe.
That's a maybe.
All right.
All right. At Carolina, I mean, man,
That Carolina one, I think, is also a
a
maybe.
little boring.
I
Game will be over before it starts.
Never say that about the good city of wherever.
Do you think Travis has arrived? Do you think Travis has arrived at the point in his relationship with Taylor that he says to Taylor, "Hey, this week I'm good"?
I don't know. I don't know how you approach that one.
Okay.
I also asked the opposite of that question, though. Do you think that Taylor says to Travis, "I'm good. We don't need to be going to all the Paris shows. We're good."
Who blinks first?
Yeah.
Gonna be interesting to see.
Oh, I like that game. Who blinks first?
So do I. Speaking of Taylor, we have Taylor who works with us.
Yeah, we have Taylor here, but here's the thing: is I need to set it up with this other question first. This was pre-planned, so then I give you a headline, and then that headline will then lead to Taylor's top 5, which is why he's here. Okay. But I haven't given the headline yet, so people don't know that that's what we're doing.
All right, well, just hurry because I'm told we don't have a lot of time.
All right, here's the headline. Okay. One more headline before we go.
Okay.
Joe Burrow, according to TMZ, has buzzed his hair and has shaved his head. Ooh. Old buzz cut. He had long hair going into it. We talked in previous episodes. Will this be a distraction? He's buzzed that hair. It is gone. Previously, I have stated on the record, it was the worst decision Justin Herbert ever made, was shaving his head. Mm-hmm. And now Joe Burrow has done it.
I don't like it.
Okay. You haven't even seen it, but okay.
No, I don't like it. I love quarterback hair. Mm-hmm. And I love hair coming out of the back of the helmet.
Yeah, it's a good look.
It's a great look.
Yeah.
I don't like the buzz cut. Brady, long hair, great. Brady, buzz cut, did not look as great. Results were the same.
I was going to say, he probably still won like 2 Super Bowls with the buzz cut.
He did. Aaron, buzz cut, did not look as good as when he had longer hair. That's all I'm saying. I love quarterback hair.
Okay.
I do. And I'm with you on Justin Herbert. I'm agreeing with you.
Yeah.
Terrible decision.
All right, Taylor, what are you doing here?
I have my all bald team.
Oh, all bald team. Okay.
How'd that come out?
All bald quarterbacks, right?
Yep.
But how?
No, it's not quarterbacks. It's an all bald team.
But why?
Wow.
I heard you guys pre-show talking.
Oh, pre-show. Okay.
Joe Burrow's buzzed hair, yeah.
Right, I have to explain it. That's okay, good. Thank you. We'll led right into it. Got it. All right,
yeah.
Good. All right, so this is your all-bald team, not top 5 ball quarterbacks?
It's an all-ball team.
Okay.
Does that mean we have someone for each position?
Yes.
Really?
One
or
for the entire offensive line. One for the entire offensive line.
So you have one guy representing all 5 on the offensive line.
Yep, and then I have 4 wide receivers. We're going 4
So it's not a top 5?
Not a top
Just
5.
an all-ball team.
It's an all-ball team. Do you have defense too?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Both sides of the ball.
All right, so give us the offensive line first.
I like this.
The one guy representing the all-ball team offensive line.
New segment, Taylor's team.
Yes.
And then whatever we talk about is Taylor's team of those people.
48 days until they play football.
Yeah.
Come on.
Offensive line, Lane Johnson.
That's good. And he's a good offensive lineman.
Well, he's picking just good players.
Defensive line, Miami's very own, Jason Taylor.
Yeah. Yeah.
Linebacker, there was a controversy at linebacker. It was Brian Urlacher, but we're actually going to go with James Harrison as their representative because the bald community
has disavowed him.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you're doing one linebacker to represent the 3 or 4.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay, got it.
But Urlacher betrayed the bald community by getting hair.
He did.
Yeah.
He's right.
My running backs are Adrian Peterson and then Rex Burkhead.
Rex Burkhead is bald?
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
What?
He's like my fullback in this package.
Wasn't Ricky Williams bald when he came back?
Wait, Rex Burkhead is bald? I had like long flowing locks. Like quarterback hair.
No, he's bald.
Burkhead?
Cue ball.
Huh? You think you know a guy?
My 4 wide, we're going Chad Ochocinco.
Okay.
Right. Is he bald?
Terrell Owens.
Yes.
Hines Ward. And for the new age, Keenan Allen.
Huh. Are they bald?
They're all bald.
Well, how do you define bald? If you have a little stubble on your head, are you bald?
Well, I mean, Joe Burrow has stubble.
So is he bald?
He buzzed his head.
But I think bald, I think like Kojak.
We're getting distracted here.
Keenan Allen, there's not a...
Yeah.
Taylor's never heard of Kojak.
I feel like Taylor's hair might qualify when he gets a haircut. He's a little long right now. Would you say he buzzed his head? Yeah. But he wouldn't be on the all-bald team.
No.
I have a few more names.
Okay.
In the defensive backfield, we have Devin McCourty, Aqib Talib, Malcolm Jenkins.
Bald?
I was going to say, now you guys are just going to question.
How about Andre Waters? He's bald. Waters was bald. That's what bald is.
Okay.
Why am I getting so hung up on what definition of bald? And I hope it's Andre Waters. If it's not, I apologize.
Is that the whole team?
I have a head coach and a quarterback.
Okay, we got to go quick.
My quarterback, it's Matt Hasselbeck.
Okay.
Bald?
Yeah, definitely.
Bald or not bald? New game?
My head coach, Tony Dungy.
Wow.